Alright, so I spent as much time as I was patient for cleaning up stuff. Cleaned the engine bay, degreased it, and sort of just hosed it down. Probably could be cleaner. It's obviously not super clean, but it was cleaner than it was, so you know, it's a win. I'll probably go through it a little bit better once the new engine's in. But the transmission is still kind of dirty, and you know, it doesn't really matter, but ideally I guess I would make this a little bit cleaner, but I get bored easily. So what I ended up doing instead was ripping out the driver's seat here, as you can see, and it's a mess. Not very organized, but I took the seat rails off so that I could adapt the other seats that I'm going to be putting in from the Accord CB7. So luckily the seat rails came right off. The only thing I'm going to have to figure out is this weird airbag sensor thing. Looks very I don't know, phallic. I probably shouldn't be touching the tip like that, you know. But this thing obviously has a connector here, and so if this isn't plugged in, then the airbag system won't work right. I think this is for the seatbelt, so when the seatbelt yanks, apparently something explodes here, and then that triggers the, I don't know. But somehow I'm gonna have to salvage this or figure out some way to delete the mechanism so that it reads properly on the ECU. But I don't know, I'll figure that out later. The head gasket came in finally. Been waiting on this thing for weeks, and so I actually originally I had bought an upgraded head gasket, but for this build I probably won't need something like that, and it was taking forever, so I just ended up ordering an OEM head gasket for Ford Ranger. And this is a little bit thinner than the Cometic one. This is, I think, 2/1000 of an inch thick, versus the Cometic was 4/1000 of an inch, but, or 4/100 of an inch, or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, this should do. Hopefully I didn't mess up the head mating surface too much. I'm keeping it in here. So I cleaned the head. It's pretty clean, you know, clean enough for me. And hopefully I didn't mess up the bottom of it, so that it's still relatively flat. And so now I have to take off this head, because as I embarrassingly messed up the threads on the cam caps on this head, the Fusion head, and I didn't want to helicoil all of the threads, so I am going to be reusing the Ranger head, and to do that you need to use a Ranger gasket, because the Fusion gasket apparently is a different shape or something. So let me go ahead and do that. Alright, so I don't think I've ever documented this process, but in order to take the head off or the cams off or anything, or just disassembling the timing chain, basically you have to take the tensioner off, and it's just two 10mm bolts, and then that'll come right off. And then you can just slide this tensioner arm assembly thing off the dowel. That just comes off like that. Pretty simple. And then you could just take the chain off. Alright, so we got the cams out. Gonna put these cam caps, I should probably put them back. And then just gonna remove the head bolts, and then the head should come off with all this crap attached to it. Alright, so we got the head off. Yeah, it wasn't too hard. Everything looks pretty good here. Some normal amount of carbon buildup. All the cylinder walls look good. Gas is actually not that bad. Could probably maybe reuse it if you were willing to risk it, but I have a new gasket, so might as well just use the new one. Well, got all cleaned off a lot of the gunk off the block. There's a little bit of gasket material, but some of this stuff looks like it's divoted or something, the metal. So should be fine. Maybe I'll go over it one more time with the brass brush, but should be fine. Wiped it down. Got the Ranger head over there, ready to go on. But I'm debating now whether or not, well, first of all, I'm losing light. As you can see, I got about maybe an hour in the day left because the days are so short in the winter. So I mean, in the hour I could probably get the head on at least, right? But I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to change out the valve springs in the head for the Fusion valve springs. Don't know if these are stronger, but they're definitely newer, so there's that, right? And it'd be easier to change the valve springs with the head off the engine. If I put the head on now, then I'll have to create some kind of vacuum in the cylinders to keep the valves in place while I replace the valve spring, versus just having them held up by like a towel or something from underneath. Shouldn't take too long to do those. Maybe I could do them in an hour and then just slap it on here. That's possible. So yeah, kind of a dilemma. But I'll go ahead and end the video here basically, and then next time you'll see me doing something else, hopefully. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and think about what I want to do, because removing the valve springs from this one might take an hour, and then another hour to put it in the old one. So removing and then replacing will take about 2 hours. I would say like 30 minutes each, maybe. I mean, I've never done valve springs before, so it could take longer than that. But yeah, the only consideration I have is that it's gonna rain tomorrow, and I just have this like kind of painter's plastic here, and I don't want water to get in the cylinders and cause any sort of rust or anything. I guess I could sort of oil them a little bit and then, you know, cover it, double wrap it or something, so that rain definitely doesn't get in. Hopefully it doesn't rain tomorrow so I can actually work on this, because I'm getting close to the end here. Once that head's on and the cams shifted over, and I've messed with the timing cover so many times now that I could do it in my sleep maybe. Possibly. And I just kind of want to get it back in the truck and, you know, fire it up, see if it works or not. So but yeah, like I said, I'm gonna end the video here, and thanks for watching.